You've probably heard of PBIS, maybe even have been involved with a school that does something like PBIS. But very often, what schools do under the general heading of PBIS is incomplete, misguided, or far too complicated. The purpose of this module is to provide the simplest possible definition of what it means for a school to be doing PBIS. Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports, or PBIS, is not a curriculum. There are no specific activities. Rather, it is a framework for selecting, implementing, and evaluating effective support systems for student behavior for all students in the school. PBIS is generally associated with a triangle, and this is just a way to present a simple idea of the logic behind PBIS. Here's a logical analogy of the triangle and its application in schools.
Take that triangle and break it up. People see this triangle and think PBIS or RTI, MTSS, but they see it as three colors of one triangle, and it's not. It's three triangles. So think of it like this. Here are the kids in your school. They're having problems. Let's make up a problem. They're rusting. They're getting rusty. Your school is damp. Here's what I'm going to suggest you do. Go out and assess your school and find the dampest areas. Go to those damp areas and paint them with a coating of green rust-proof paint. Second, line up all your kids in the hallway and paint them with green rust-proof paint. Now, here's what you're going to need to do. I'm warning you, that rust-proof paint doesn't work for every kid. So I want you to spend the year scratching at kids. As you walk down the hall, chip away and flake away and chip. And if you see a kid whose green paint is chipping away, here's what you should say to yourself. That kid is a non-responder. That kid is not responding to all the good stuff we've given to make everything work for them. Their snowball has started to turn in the wrong direction. What do we need to do? Here's what I'm going to suggest. Yellow paint. We're going to take the yellow and we're going to give those kids a coating of yellow super rust-proof paint. Now, if you're smart, you're thinking right now, well, if yellow paint is so great, why don't we just apply that instead of green? Here's why. One, yellow paint is expensive. It's taking more people to do it, it's taking more time to do it, and it's more complicated. It's intense. Its intensity is what we're talking about as we go up that triangle. Second reason, yellow paint only works when applied on top of a base of green. Good instruction across the school. So we apply our yellow. Go around your school and chip away at your yellow painted kids. Believe it or not, there are some kids that are incredibly prone to rust, and they'll flake right through 2 coats of paint. When you find them, they're going to need a 3rd layer of paint. So again, realize this isn't red paint instead of, it's red paint on top of. When we talk about Tier 3 and MTSS, it isn't something else, it's something in addition. It's expensive. So again, why not just apply red instead of yellow? One, red is very expensive because it needs to be applied one-on-one. Super individualized. You go to Lowe's to buy red paint and they're gonna ask for a prescription. It's based on one kid. What's your plan for that kid? The only thing we've got to keep us from needing to apply lots of yellow is a great coating of green. The best thing we have to keep us from needing red, which is expensive, is a great coating of green and a great coating of yellow. But again, realize it's layered on top, one after the other.
PBIS is really just 4 simple things: prediction, prevention, consistency, and evaluation. We predict where our students will fail. We develop supports to prevent these failures. We work together to make sure we implement consistently as a school, and we look at data to evaluate where it's working and where will we need to provide more intensive and individualized support. When looking at these 4 simple components, in reality, PBIS is simply a system of providing effective instruction in the behavioral realm. In fact, this same logic is used in the academic realm, but it's typically called response to intervention, or RTI. Schools that do both are often said to be implementing multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS. In the following modules, you'll get a better idea of each of these 4 components and how they are most simply implemented. As we end this module, this would be a good time to have a simple discussion with your coworkers. Do you work in a school that is implementing PBIS or MTSS? And if so, do you believe that all of the 4 components are in place in your school and can give you examples of each?